What's up, guys? My name's Dinebot, and this is Dauntless. Alright, little housekeeping out of the way right off the bat. You guys may have noticed a little change to the branding on the series. It's nothing big. I'm just going to call it This Is instead of First Look, since I always say This Is anyways. It just makes me feel better. Alright, so this is Dauntless. Let's have a quick look into the options here. You'll notice that there's not much. This game is in early access, so not a lot of options. However, just be aware if you're thinking about playing it, there is almost no ability to scale this game, so just bear that in mind. Let's hop in. Now, I've put my overlay up for you guys so you can see the GPU, CPU usage. This game is currently running on my machine that's using a GTX 1080 Titan, so mileage will vary. However, I did run this with a 980 and it was pretty much okay. I will note that the in-game hub has massive issues, so just bear with me. It runs fine when you're actually in the field, but not here. This would appear to be a massive optimization issue. It's running at 17 frames per second or so. It's almost unplayable. It's bad. So yeah, let's go take a hunt, and I will talk about what this game is. A lot of you are going to be familiar with it as a Monster Hunter clone, and while Monster Hunter is an apt comparison, I don't know that it's precisely a clone. Now, the game's going to tell me I need to upgrade my armor and weapons here. Let's just wait on that. Let's try a Charog. You can queue up for multiple hunts. You just check them off, and you'll hop into the first available party. And you can see right over there that it's trying to matchmake. There are a fair number of people playing this game, as you can see. I'm wondering if some of the in-game hub stuff actually has to do with player data issues. You also notice that a lot of characters look wildly different. I actually don't look anything like the base model myself, and that is because a la Monster Hunter, you use the parts you get from killing monsters to craft new weapons and new armor. Let's pull up my loadout here and take a quick look. So I'm using my Nash Blades, got all my other armor here. So we are good to go. You basically choose your consumables here and then take them into the field with you. So let's just hop into a hunt. Alright guys, so here we go. We are back in the game, heading towards an island right here, and these are where you will hunt monsters the vast majority of the time. Well, the vast majority of the time, the entire time. Now, this game has quite a striking art style, I will say that. You'll notice that the frame rate has recovered quite nicely. It's still not perfect 60 FPS, but it runs much, much better than it does in town. It has a lot of dips. Again, early access, a lot of optimization hadn't been done, and it's certainly playable and feels smooth when you're out in the field. So while we're out here, we can gather materials, which you need to upgrade weapons and complete certain quests. As a matter of fact, I'm going to hit this guy right here. Or not. Really? There we go. We'll just grab this right here. That was some ether hide. And my hunting buddy there has gone way off to the left, and he's popped a flare, which means he has found the monster. One thing that's very weird about this game in terms of controls is that jump is bound to the F button, not space. Space is actually your dodge. So we're going to engage this monster here. Now, there are multiple types of weapons in the game. Both of us happen to be using the chain blades, but there's also a hammer and a sword. Hopefully more to come later, but the ones they have now are fairly interesting. Not real sure this is going to be a great idea for a two-man hunting party, but you know what? Whatever. Up in the top, you've got two bars, one green, one yellow. The green is obviously my health. The yellow is my stamina, which gets depleted as I do certain attacks. Like that. And now I'm on fire. lot of the monsters have some really interesting designs and some really interesting attack patterns. Some of the earlier ones not so much, but those are more to get you acclimated to the game and the idea of hunting. You can have up to 4 people in a hunt at a time. And learning to read the tells on these things is really important. This is the first time I've ever fought one of these, so I'm probably going to miss some tells, but a lot of them are pretty easy to see. They're very well telegraphed, so... You may be wondering about some of these moves I'm doing. There is actually combos, and the chain blades actually have an interesting ability as well. I can pull myself into the monster, or if I'm close, I can jump back like that to gain myself some distance. And while there's not a ton of combos, they do require some skill to pull off, and this guy is down. This is not good. Okay, let's see if we can get some more hits in on this guy. One major complaint I would have at this early stage, although, again, early access, is I would love to see some more combos put into the game. I'm sure they're coming, but... Like, you're going to see me doing the same combo a lot with these chainswords, because it's... or chain blades, because it's kind of the go-to damage-dealing combo. Okay, you suck. Nice fire effect, though. So some of the other weapons, the hammer is extremely slow, but it also has some ammo that it can use. I'm going to drink a stamina potion here. And a health potion, while this guy does his thing. It is entirely enough fire out of you. Well, that was unpleasant. I'm sure I could have jumped that if I'd timed it right. And I'm down. I do have an item I can use to revive myself, and I'm going to have to since he can't really get to me through that nonsense. Now, I can only use that once per match, so yeah, this is looking kind of bad. Okay, let's get in here on this guy. Now, in terms of how does this game play, well, it's pretty smooth. Your actions are translated into the game instantly. There's not a lot of input and latency. All the information so far for the HUD elements is presented pretty cleanly, so you always know what's going on. Now, of course, there's no health bar for the monster, but that's par for the course for a game like this. It's not anything unusual. Is this that big fire AoE attack again? Please don't let it be that big fire AoE. One thing I haven't gotten to show off is the lantern. It's an item that you always have. It's right there in the back of my belt. And they do different things. They can offer different resistances. This one is a base one because I haven't had a chance to gather the materials to craft another one. But they will lead you to the monster. At least this one will. Really. I like how he's turned all red. A lot of monsters will do that. They'll signal different states by changing color. Nice visual tell on what you need to look for. As far as the actual difficulty of the monsters, though, so far I haven't found any that are too challenging. However, I understand that later on in the game some of them get pretty challenging. It's difficult for me to tell you how they scale. I haven't been able to tell a huge difference in a 4-man sometimes. We did have one fight that seemed to go on forever, but I don't know if that's because we were geared low or because the monster was super hard. It was extremely difficult to tell. The game doesn't do a great job of conveying that information. The only thing it'll really do is warn you in town, hey, you don't have enough gear to kill this thing. Now, we have chopped off part of its tail there. It's also disappeared. That's early access, everybody. Monsters will run away. I'm not sure that this one was supposed to disappear like that. Right, let's go find this guy. There he is. And I'm going to take a quick detour because I actually need some of this for a potion or a item recipe. Let's see if we can get in there and do some damage to this guy. So, if you're familiar with a Monster Hunter game, you'll know that typically when a monster runs like this, they're getting pretty low. This guy's probably pretty hurt. Oh, this guy has a healing aura. Very nice. There are lots of different effects like that you can have depending on what gear you have equipped. That hurt. Ow. Time for a potion, I think. So, this is something to note for people that may not have played one of these games before. A lot of this comes down to just wearing the monster down, and fights can take a while in these types of games. So be prepared. This is not going to be a quick experience. The game will actually tell you how long I can't believe I got out of that. Cool. The game will tell you how long a fight took when you finish up the match, too. There we go. Refill a little stamina. Get a buff here. That burn effect hurts. Get some damage in on the head. Typically that'll do more damage, you know, because it's the monster's head. You wouldn't like it if somebody hit you in the face either. I'm almost out of healing potions. This guy's got to be close to dead. And he's dead. So here at the end of a match, you will see a few things. The game will give you a whole bunch of gear, or not gear, items rather, that I can use to craft different things. It'll also give you a little screen here that shows the top damage dealer and give you some awards based on that. And that was a terrible rank. Game will also drop these ether cores, and these are things that we can open once we get back to town. And they will have different materials in them that I can use to craft different weapons and things. Alright, so let me show you guys a little bit about the crafting. We will struggle through the 12 FPS. I know it's ridiculous, but, you know, not a lot I can do about it. And this game also does have quests. You'll actually see one up there on my HUD. First off, let's open our ether cores. So this is from that rogue Charog, and we got a Charog Anger and Smoke Glass. Don't have any cores. Let's go talk to our quest giver, give you an idea of the kinds of quests that the game can hand out. There are multiple people here. Alright, so I've gotten all the data that this guy needs. And he wants us now to battle rogue Embermains. So I need to kill 3 of them. And he also wants us to kill some Shrikes, so these quests, actually, I like. They do seem a little grindy, but what they do is they go hand in hand with the need to gather materials to upgrade your gear, as you will see right here when we talk to the armor smith. So, I am currently wearing the Nasher set, and you can see that I can upgrade it. It'll add some resistance and berserk if I upgrade it. And I need 11 Nasher traces, 7 behemoth hides, and then the actual cloak. Let's go ahead and do that. One of my biggest disappointments is the further you upgrade, they don't really change the look of the item. We'll upgrade our boots, but all of this makes you a little bit stronger. Now I need some more Nasher trace, so fortunately the game's going to give me quests that ask me to go kill stuff like Nashers. So as I said, it goes hand in hand. It helps pad out the grinding a little bit, I guess. So you have the sword, you have the axe, you have the hammer, and you have the chain blades, which I like to use. Now, my Nash blades are pretty much fully upgraded, and I can't craft the Shrike blades because I need 5 iron. They would be weaker than mine anyways, but just to give you kind of an idea of the level of materials needed, so I would need 25 Nasher traces to make this Nash axe. There is also a crafter for your lantern, and there's also a crafter for ships as well. So let's see if we can get a party of 4 and take on another hunt real quick. And I'll kind of give you guys some final thoughts. And we've finished this, and let's what, are we actively? No, I don't want to actively try to find a hunt. Social. Leave party. We've actually just received a schematic for char blades there. Let's see if we can make those. I tend to doubt it, but we did just kill a Charog, so maybe. I really hope they're able to address this issue with the frame rate in town soon, because it is quite off-putting. Oh, no. We would need a lot more to craft this. The catalyst, we've got some smoke glass, we need iron. All things that I need to be looking for. I do find the game is a bit more transparent about what you do and don't need to make things than Monster Hunter is sometimes. And definitely about stat changes. So let's see if we can grab another hunt here. This should get us a party really quickly. It doesn't really matter what we hunt. I just want to kill some stuff. I suppose we should talk about cosmetics a little bit while we're here. The game does have cosmetics. You have emotes. You can change your island arrival. Here we go. We're in. You can change the way that your clothing looks. Different things like that. None of it is super impressive, but it does give you a way to customize your character a little bit, which is nice since all the character models look pretty generic. And this should give us a 4-man. Or at least a 3-man. Looks like it didn't play the animation for the airships either, which happens from time to time, and I'm not sure why. But I can gather some material. So let me take this opportunity as we gather, and I'll just show you this slice of gameplay to talk about how I think this holds up against Monster Hunter, which is what it's going to be compared to constantly. First off, the art style really sets this game apart. It's not as deep and nuanced as Monster Hunter is, however, the game still has a long way to go in development, so that could very well change. It doesn't have as big a weapon variety, but I do find the weapons to be really satisfying. And I think that, you know, even though we're making comparisons to Monster Hunter, you do have to look at the game on its own merits. Got a great art style. It's fun to play in combat. It has a pretty deep upgrade system if you want to really get into grinding for your weapons. There's our monster over there. And it's playable on a PC, whereas until Monster Hunter World comes out, pretty much if you want to play Monster Hunter, you're going to be looking at using a 3DS, which is, as much as I love the 3DS, not exactly the most comfortable experience in the world, especially for Monster Hunter. So that being said, I think that this game may have some issues when Monster Hunter World comes out, because from what I've seen of Monster Hunter World so far, unless Capcom really screws it up, it looks like it has the potential to be a very good game. A couple complaints I have with this game: solo hunting is pretty damn hard to do, especially given the way that balancing your stamina bar with the need to dodge, but also using it to pull off more damaging moves kind of just wrecks your stamina and makes it hard to pull off, you know, cool shit. Alright, got some Aetherflux. This will go a long ways towards helping me craft those new blades. This is actually one of the big reasons to come out and hunt and not engage the monster right away. I'm scared around him here a little bit. I don't want to start fighting him. The Shrike is a very cool monster design, actually. I don't see him, so maybe he got free. Oh, okay, so are we doing this thing? Yeah, I think the game has a lot to recommend. I also think that a lot of people are going to look at it as a way to just tide themselves over until Monster Hunter comes out. So, take it for what you will. I think that you really should give the game a shot just on its own. Even for an early access game, it does run relatively well, unless you're in the hub area, which is a shame, but, you know, things can be optimized, patched, and fixed. I was kind of hoping we would get somebody with a sword or a hammer. This guy's going to go down pretty quick, and this is something indicative of where maybe some balancing needs to be done, or maybe I just need to see higher level content, but I mean, we're already beating the shit out of this thing. And we also have a bug here where one of our party members is stuck and can't get himself free. Ow. Well, that hurt. So yeah, guys, just my thoughts on the game. I'd recommend you guys give it a try. It is fun. Just be aware that you may not want to pay the asking price right now, so something to keep in mind. And this thing is going down. Alright guys, that has been a look at Dauntless. My name has been Dimebot. Thank you so much for watching. Give that like button a click, it really helps out. And if you really enjoyed the video, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.